Hello and welcome to episode 49 of the Made by Mumino podcast. My name is Catherine and this is mostly a knitting podcast, although I do occasionally talk about spinning and weaving sometimes. But yeah, I think today is all knitting. So welcome, a really warm welcome to you if you're new here, and a huge welcome back if you've been here before. So as I said, my name is Catherine and I live in Germany, and normally I am recording in Germany, in Mönchengladbach, where I live permanently with my partner. But today, as you can see, we've got a little change of venue. This is my mum's workroom in Wales, in the Bannau Brachaniog, which is the Brecon Beacons, which is kind of mid-Wales. And my partner and I are spending Christmas here. So yeah, today I have my giant bucket of tea here in my mum's workroom, which is really nice, and she's made it look really festive, which is lovely. So yes, a huge welcome to you, and let's get started. So you can find me in all the usual places as either Made by Mumino or Mumino. So on Instagram, Ravelry, Ko-fi, and thank you so much to the people who have donated some coffees to me on Ko-fi. That was really, really kind of you. I really do appreciate it, so thank you for that. I also put chapters in, so you can skip through any bits that you're not interested in, and I also link everything down below, so if you want to find out more about a pattern or about some of the yarn that I've used, you can find all the links for that below. But if you have any questions or anything you want to talk about, feel free to comment as well, because I answer all the comments after each episode as well. So let's get started with what I am wearing today. This is my winter doodle sweater. I did this as a test knit for Pacific Knit Co last year, and as you can see, mine's a really plain and simple version. I've just done it in two colours with all snowflake motifs, although my partner calls this my Space Invaders jumper, which I think is a little mean, although I get what he's on about, but anyway. So I've just made this in two colours. I made the 9th size. This is a really size inclusive pattern, and I think there are about 15 or so sizes altogether, which is fantastic. It's really, really customizable. So as I said, I just went for all of the charts for snowflakes, but there are so many different charts with reindeer, snowmen, stars, holly, all sorts of things, all sorts of festive themed doodle charts. And I made this in Norwegian wool. This is Hillersvåg, which is kind of a DK weight, and the contrast colour is Sandnesgarn Peergynt, which worked really, really well with this yarn. And I must make a confession. I put this on a couple of weeks ago, and I suddenly noticed there was a mistake, like all the way around, in not the last colour work row, the colour work below, above that. So I've quickly duplicate stitched it. I was one stitch out on all of my snowflakes. So yeah, duplicate stitching is really super easy. There are loads of online tutorials about how to do it, and it's a really nice way to fix your colour work if you do make a mistake. You go in at the bottom of the V of the stitch you want to change, and then go underneath the legs of the stitch above. I think I did a reel about it on my Instagram as well a little while ago. But yes, I'll link a good tutorial for how to do it below. But yeah, I've been wearing this for a year without having spotted the mistake. So obviously it wasn't really a big deal. But yes, I fixed that. This is a lovely, warm, squishy jumper. It's slightly oversized for me. I have about 120 centimetre bust, about 48 inches. I'm getting quite a lot of positive ease here. But it's lovely and warm and comfy. So yeah, a really, really nice jumper, and feels really festive to wear something like this at this time of year. So this sweater is knit on 4mm needles, which is a US 6. So it was a relatively quick knit, and it's a really nice one as well for somebody wanting to try making a colour work jumper for the first time, because you can really pick and choose how much colour work you do and where you place it. The pattern is very, very thorough. It tells you how to place the different charts, how to work out the maths of it. So there's a little worksheet that you can do to, if you're a visual person, you want to lay out the charts before you do them, sort of cut them out and stick them down and things, or colour them in. So it's a really nice inclusive pattern, and that I really do recommend. I had a lot of fun knitting this one, and yeah, you could make the same jumper twice and it would look totally different because of choosing different charts and things. So yeah, it's a nice one to do. Okay, let's move on to my first finished object today, which is a Musselburgh. I finished it. So my partner and I, we drive from Germany to Wales when we come to visit. Well, when we're coming to visit together. When I come on my own, I tend to fly. But yes, that meant I had a good 12 hours of knitting time. I did work a lot on my advent blanket, but I also worked on this as well. And it's finished. Yet another Musselburgh for my partner. So that's what it looks like when it's finished. It's like knitting a sock, I suppose, just with two ends on it. So yeah, it's really nice soft squishy yarn. This is the Squirm sock base from Undercover Otter, and as you can see, they've just made a gorgeous, gorgeous colour. These muted neons with little black flecks in it. It's just so much fun. So yes, my partner will be allowed to wear this. I finished it last night and sewed up the end last night, ready to film today. So yes, he'll probably wear that today, which is really nice. But yeah, this is really, really such a cool pattern. If you saw my last episode, you see how many Musselburghs I've made over the years. I thought about it after I finished filming, and I thought, that's only the ones I've made for my partner. I've made ones for lots of family members, quite a few friends and things as well. I find it just a really simple knit. The cast on is a bit fiddly, but in my last video as well, I did a little video on how I do the cast on. But in the pattern, there's a really good tutorial from the designer, and just make it work. To be honest, I've heard that some people do the initial cast on and then knit another row before joining in the round. And because you've got the opportunity to sew it up afterwards, it'll work. So just do whatever works to get it started, and you can make it look right with a little bit of sewing afterwards. But yes, this is a Musselburgh. I knit this on 3.25mm needles, and yeah, it's a fingering weight yarn, so it's nice and warm and not too dense, but it's that double layer that's the real trick, because it just makes that extra layer of insulation to keep a chilly head warm. So yes, finished object, a Musselburgh. Okay, the next thing to show you is my pick and mix cowl. I've made a little bit of progress on it, not too much. There's not been too many opportunities to sit down quietly and do colour work. I think maybe, had I done that one maybe last time I spoke to you, so I've just done an extra repeat there. So there's not really a lot to say about this, it's growing slowly. But that does look gorgeous, doesn't it? And this light looks beautiful. I'm sat right in front of a window here, so the light is really good. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. It's going to look gorgeous. It'll go really nicely with a few different hats that I have in a light pink or a purple or a green or something. So yeah, really happy with that. These are kits from We County Yarns. I've got left a link down below, but the pattern for this is actually free. So if you wanted to make up your own set of colours, then that would work really well as well. So I've used 10 different colours here that came in the kit. They're all listed on my Ravelry page. But yeah, I haven't been fussy about where I've used my colours. For the first set of repeats, I just picked them out at random and then just kept that same sequence for subsequent repeats. So yeah, it's really, really nice, really fun, and looking forward to doing a little bit more on that before I show it to you next. Okay, the next thing to show you is my DK blanket that I'm making. So, oh, apologies for any loud noises there. I was knitting on this in the car as well, and it's growing. It's getting difficult to show you now. But I'm using my Advent yarn from Het Volbeest for this. I had an Advent with 5 complete 100-gram skeins in it, and I'm just introducing them as they come out. I'm also interspersing that with some other leftover yarns I had from previous projects. So far we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colours in here. And I've just introduced the latest colour from last week's Advent from Het Volbeest. And I'll do another stripe about that big. So I'm alternating stripes of about, 12 centimetres and about 4 centimetres, something like that, just to get the blanket as big as possible. But I did see a little problem potentially in the future. What have I done with it? So this is the yarn that I'm holding all of these different colours with, because I wanted a really cohesive look throughout, and I love this bright pink, and I think it's going to have a really interesting sort of semi-scrappy look at the end of it. But as you can see, probably won't have enough. These woolly knit cones come in 500 gram weights, and I'd already used some of it in another blanket for somebody else. So I think I probably only had about 300 grams maybe left on this cone. I didn't weigh it, never mind. But my mum has come to the rescue, so she had left over from another project this also woolly knit. She's so organised. She's taken it off the cones, caked it up, tied it together with string and written down how much is left. She is so organised. Anyway, so she has 2 lots of these left over from another project that she doesn't want to use, and she said I can have them. And so I'm planning of when I start the decreases to switch over to this colour. I think it's going to look so cool because you're going to have that really high contrast in the first half between the pink and then the different pastel colours, and then in the second half it's going to be a much lower contrast, and this is going to bring out the colours in the Advent yarn really nicely. So I think this is going to look perfect. I'm really excited about that. And it's a good way to use up some of my mum's stash as well. She has it's an impressive stash, but anyway. So yeah, that's my plan. The pattern that I'm using is the traditional dishcloth pattern from Very Pink Knit, and it's supposed to be like that big. So you just knit 2, do a yarn over it and knit to the end, and you do that on every single row until it's as wide as you want it to be. I've made a few blankets using this pattern and it works really nicely. It also works really well if you want to use a bulky weight yarn or hold lots of yarns together. So I made one for my brother and his wife that was, I think it was a DK held with an acrylic mohair, held with another acrylic as well. So it was mainly acrylic because they have sensitivity to yarn. So but it was brilliant. I knit it on, I think, size 9 needles, I think it was. So it was good and chunky, and it was really quick to knit, and it made a lovely big squishy blanket. So it was really nice, really nice to snuggle under. So yeah, it's a really versatile pattern. I do like it. I know it's a little bit boring perhaps just to do garter stitch, but let's face it, this time of year, whether you celebrate Christmas or not, there's a lot going on, or you just want to relax and watch TV and do something relatively mindless. So last time I spoke to you, I was at this point here, so I managed to do all of that in the car and a little bit since, and I'm really enjoying working on this. It's nice to be able to work on something whilst I'm still enjoying spending time with people and co-piloting for my partner when he's driving and feeding him snacks. So yes, that's my traditional dishcloth that's also a giant blanket. The next thing I've got to show you is a new cast on. I decided to cast on a pair of DK socks. Now, I'm not using any particular pattern for this. So I was thinking about this last week after I finished my episode. I'm very sort of blasé about knitting socks because I don't tend to use a pattern or anything. I've just got the recipe I always use. I was thinking back to when I knitted my first ever pair of socks, and I was very stressed about it, worried about the tension, worried about the size. It was quite stressful to do, so I thought I'd put a link to the pattern that I started using when I first started making socks in the round. So if you wanted to have a go at it, I would definitely recommend that pattern. But there are loads of really nice sock patterns out there if you want to try top down, if you want to do an afterthought heel. Personally, I like to do the top down heel flap and gusset. I find that fits my foot really nicely. But yeah, so I'll link that down below. But yes, this is a 48 stitch cast on, and the yarn I'm using isn't DK, but I'm holding it with itself. So you can do that by doing a centre pull ball. Apologise for the rustling. So that is the contrast colour that I'm using. It's left over from my Moomin socks. So I'm doing a centre pull and holding it with itself. And this is the main colour that I'm using, which is West Yorkshire Spinners' signature 4-ply. So every year they do a festive themed yarn, and this year it's this sparkly mulled wine colour, which is gorgeous. And I think that the really vibrant red is just, it just looks really sumptuous. So this is going to be a nice squishy warm sock. The beauty of DK socks as well is that they're quite quick to knit. And I'm making these on 3.25mm needles, and these are going to live in my handbag. So this is my little festive sock pouch that my mum made for me. As you can see, she's a quilter. She's working on that at the moment. It's just gorgeous. Anyway, I wish I could do that. So this is the label from the signature 4-ply. And that's what it looks like if it's knitted up by itself without holding it double. And this is the contrast colour that I'm using, which is a German yarn from Lang Yarns. And it's really, really soft, but to be honest, any contrast colour would work really well. It feels quite like Filcolana Arvetta, but West Yorkshire Spinners also do a really nice range of just plain colours for contrast colours as well. So yes, that's my little new cast on for this week, and I'll be knitting on those quietly as well when I don't want to knit on my blanket. Well, that's just about all the knitting that I've got to show you today. So I've got my final yarn advent to show you. The first one is my Fibre advent from Wool and Twine, and there's some more gorgeous fibre there from Hula. I think I'm going to have to start spinning this up sooner rather than later. It's just, it's really lovely. As with all the other ones from the previous weeks, it's 100% Exmoor Blueface, and it's her heirloom blend. It's gorgeous. Really, the light is picking up all the different colours in there so nicely. And the other one is the final one from Het Volbeast. How fun is that? It's really moody, this one. So I'm looking forward to getting started with this one as well. And this is a Moomin themed advent. So this one has got a little stitch marker with, oh, is that gonna, there we go. Little Snork Maiden there, which is very, very cute. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. It's very moody colours. I think it's going to go really nicely with the other contrast colours that I've got to go with it. So yeah, all of these are 75% BFL and 25% nylon, and their 100 grams is 425 metres. So I'm really hoping I've got a little bit from each skein left over at the end of my blanket project, so I can just make a little pair of socks just to show off all the colours and some little stripes maybe. But yeah, that's really, really fun, and I've really enjoyed my advent. Also, in this week, there was also a little cut mat, little coaster with a little Moomin on there. Super cute. So yeah, he's going to be living next to me with my other little collection of cute coasters and cut mats and things. So yeah, so that's all I've got to talk about today, I think. So at the end of this video there is a little bit of me knitting. There's also some footage of my mum and I putting marzipan on the Christmas cake. So when I was back here in September, we did all of the Christmas cooking together because it all needs to mature for a few months. So we made mincemeat, Christmas cake, Christmas pudding. Did we make anything else? No, I think that was it. So the Christmas cake has been sitting quietly for a couple of months. So we got it out yesterday and we put a layer of marzipan on it. So the marzipan needs to then dry out for a few days, and then we put a little bit of icing on it. Well, I say we, my mum put some icing on it. I give moral support. I also took the opportunity to make some mince pies. I do enjoy making pastry. It's very, very meditative, making pastry. So yes, I made some mince pies with little stars on the top. And I think that's about it. So there's a little bit of footage of some festive preparation stuff at the end of this episode if you would like to watch that. If not, that's absolutely fine. That's why I put it all at the end, in case it's not for you. So I think that's about all I've got to talk about today. So yes, whatever your plans are over the next couple of weeks, I wish you a very, very happy end of the year. And after this episode, I'm going to go back to the normal schedule of having an episode once every 2 weeks on a Monday. So I will see you in 2 weeks' time when I'm back in Germany. And yes, I wish you happy crafting, Lots of nice, gentle knitting time, and I will see you in the new year. Take care. Bye bye.